What do I do when I'm being held emotionally hostage? I'm scared my kid will hurt themselves if I hold a boundary. Christy, you want to start on that one?
I mean, that struggle is real. That's what keeps us frozen and not taking the steps that we need to take. And that's, I mean, I keep harping on this. This is when I reach out to others. But the struggle, it's real, and the fear will paralyze us. And we know that if we don't take an action, it's going to really, really hurt them. You just got to know that's just not an option. So I say you feel scared and you do it anyway. And you cry, you reach out, take a ride in the car, scream your head off, whatever you need to do to get it out. Because I have had to call shots like that like, is he gonna get hurt? Is he gonna not make it through this? Well, is he gonna, it's really, really hard. But you know that if you don't do it, you know the outcome. What do y'all say here that addicts don't usually die from drugs? They die because of enablers. And so if we let that fear hold us hostage, it's to their detriment. I mean, you have to not listen to what you feel in that moment, because it is not the truth. It is not the truth. And so these kids can die. That's just the reality. That's the reality. And there's a lot of grief that has gone on with me, just letting go, really realizing the depths of how destructive Zach's addiction is, and where will he end up in the end. And that's just where I have to do my own work and grieve and get through it so that I can live a healthy life.
Yeah, totally. And the thought behind that saying of like, most addicts don't die because of the disease of addiction, they die because of the disease of enabling, is that the disease or the addiction or the self-destructive behavior can only continue to exist if it's being enabled. If you work really hard to eradicate all enabling forces, then naturally what that's going to do is it's going to ramp up the consequences in that individual's life, which again causes pain, which is a necessary and vital ingredient for somebody to have the motivation for change. Because people don't change because they want to. They change because they have to. And we know that to be true. We know that to be true with ourselves as well as like with your kids. So when the enabling ceases, when we make a stand, we're no longer going to enable this behavior or allow it to continue, then the consequences increase, and that leads to change in the behavior. And with this question specifically, like I've been down this road so many times with so many parents over the years, and I empathize like crazy with being put in a position like this. Like, I'm afraid that my kid is going to do something to harm themselves. So, like, I can't imagine. I'm not a parent. I can't imagine being a parent and being put in that position. What I can tell you from like a clinical perspective is that there's one of two things going on in that situation. And either way, you want your response to it to be the same. Either there is something going on with your kid and they are in danger and they need to be somewhere where they can be safe and they can be watched and they can get the help that they need. Therefore, they need to go get a psychiatric evaluation, or we need to be calling the ambulance, or they need to go to the ER, whatever. And that's okay. We've had to go that route many times. We'll have to go that route many times again. Like, that's okay. We can handle that. Or, and this is honestly more often what it is that it's a really dishonest manipulation ploy and tactic from your kid to put you on your heels, to put you in a place of fear, of being like emotionally disturbed, so they can like either get something that they want or not lose something that they're afraid that you're going to take away. And if that is the case, then you still want your response to be get in the car, we're going to get evaluated, we're going to the ER, calling the ambulance, whatever. Because if they are full of crap, then you want them to go through that process. You want them to go sit there for 8 hours at Ben Top waiting to be seen, and then have to go through the psychiatric evaluation and go spend 5-7 days in a psych ward, or or whatever, because you want to send them the message that you cannot manipulate me in this way anymore. Every time you tell me you're going to do this, this is what's going to happen. Not some of the time, every time. Again, the procedure only works if it's followed every time. 100% of the time, you try and pull this, whether it's real or it's not, this is the process that we're going to follow. And if it's not real, then what you'll see is your kid's probably going to try and find some other way to manipulate you, because they're going to know that that's not going to work. And they're moronic, but they're not stupid. Like, they know what works, and they know how to play you. Like, nobody can play you like your kids can. But if they realize this is not going to be effective, they're going to try something else. And so then if they do come to you and they're like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm feeling like I'm in danger, like I'm going to hurt myself, you're going to know that it is serious, and then we can do what we need to do to make sure that they're safe.